Good morning, I am Dr. Sandil. Today we are going to discuss about hypoxia and its types. A very important NEET PG question, physiology question. So first I will tell what is hypoxia. Hypoxia, which is decrease in oxygen delivery to tissues. So tissues will not be able to utilize the oxygen, or otherwise decrease in oxygen delivery to the tissues, whatever may be the reason. So for that I will just make an interesting thing. So this is alveoli. So let this be a lung. I am drawing a rough diagram. So this is lung, this is alveoli. So oxygen will be coming from outside. So oxygen comes from outside inside the lungs and alveoli, and lungs acts as a purifier. So carbon dioxide usually goes out, oxygen comes in after getting purification, and this oxygen will be travelled via the blood vessel and it reaches the tissues, and this is deoxygenated blood. So I again repeat, oxygen is taken externally, or as you breathe in, oxygen is being taken inside, and in the lungs what happens is lungs acts as a purifier. So whatever oxygen is being taken, it will be taken by the alveoli, and there is an ventilation. We call it as alveolar ventilation. So the alveoli gets ventilated because of the oxygen that is coming inside, that is called as alveolar ventilation, and from there perfusion occurs. Perfusion, this is perfusion means blood flow. So this is the venous end. So whatever the blood comes from here is impure blood, and the oxygen that is coming here is pure oxygen. So this becomes pure, this is impure. Impure means not completely impure. This is deoxygenated blood, this is oxygenated blood because of the oxygen that is coming from the alveoli, and this process is called diffusion. So the oxygen that is coming from the external, and in alveoli it is 104 millimeter mercury. In arterial, partial pressure of oxygen is around 95 millimeter. In tissue PO2 is around 40 millimeter mercury. So I have just given the outline. So what happens? Now listen here. In the blood, how the oxygen is being carried? It is not just coming as oxygen. So something is required to carry oxygen, which it is hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is the one which carries that oxygen, and that oxygen comes into the tissues, and the tissues will utilize this oxygen. So any problem, for example, imagine if the problem is here. So when there is decreased oxygen to the tissue, we call it as hypoxia. Now let us see the diagram. If this is decreased, that is oxygen coming from the outside, we call it as decrease in atmospheric oxygen. So what will happen? Entire thing, for the first step itself is blocked. So what happens? This results in hypoxia. That is called hypoxia. So one reason is decrease in PaO2, that is atmospheric oxygen. So hypoxia is decrease in partial pressure of oxygen, and decrease in partial pressure of oxygen, one cause is decrease in PaO2, that coming oxygen itself is decreased. Now you see a diffusion, as I mentioned. So that 760 millimeter, that oxygen entering is normal, but the alveoli is some problem. There is a problem in diffusion of the oxygen from the alveoli into the blood vessel, or otherwise from the alveoli there is a problem in this. So this is being problem, the diffusion. So decreased diffusion. So even in decreased diffusion, what happens? The partial pressure of oxygen is less, because the purified oxygen is not able to reach the blood vessel. So the oxygen coming here is less in case of decreased diffusion. So the decreased diffusion is one reason. Another reason is ventilation perfusion decrease. So again remember this downward arrow from the alveoli. The main function of alveoli is ventilation. So the oxygen has to be coming through this via this alveolar capillary membrane. So if there is any problem in the surface area of the capillary membrane, or if there is any problem in the oxygen getting purified, it will result in decreased PaO2. So that decrease in PaO2 is called as hypoxic hypoxia. So there could be decrease in this, there could be decrease in the oxygen entering into the blood, there could be decrease in the surface area of the capillary membrane. Sometimes we can even call it a shunt. So shunt means the V by Q mismatch. So when there is ventilation perfusion mismatch, the blood flow is normal. The blood flow is normal, but there is not enough oxygen to be taken by the blood. Why there is not enough oxygen? Proper ventilation has not occurred. So that is hypoventilation. So I write it here, no need to confuse. So first type of hypoxia is hypoxic hypoxia, which results in decreased partial pressure of oxygen. The causes, what I was telling. First one is decrease in atmospheric oxygen, or decrease in atmospheric oxygen. So of the 760, 21% is partial pressure of oxygen. The total partial pressure is this one. So when this is decreased, the 21% also will be decreased. Second one is hypoventilation. Note it down. So the oxygen that is coming into the lungs is normal, but the alveoli is not functioning properly. So hypoventilation occurs. The third one is decreased V by Q ratio or mismatch. Decreased V by Q ratio or mismatch. That is, either the ventilation is decreased, or since the ventilation is decreased, what happens? The blood flow is there. The function of this blood flow is whatever oxygen is getting purified. Lungs' main function is purifying the oxygen. So whatever the oxygen is getting purified by the lungs, that will be taken by the blood. But here the oxygen purified coming is less. So what happens to the blood flow? That is wasted. That we call it a shunt. Shunted blood. Shunted blood means blood flow is there, but that is not able to carry the purified oxygen, because oxygen is not getting properly ventilated or purified. So all these four causes results in decreased partial pressure of oxygen, which we called as hypoxic hypoxia. Now I will go to the second hypoxia, which we call as anemic hypoxia. Now just concentrate. Now this is normal. So oxygen coming is normal, diffusion is normal, and the oxygen coming into the alveoli and into the blood vessel or capillary, that is normal. I will put a tick. Normal. Now diffusion is normal, this is normal, this coming into the lungs normal, blood flow is normal. Yeah, again concentrate here. Oxygen, as I mentioned, it cannot go as oxygen, it needs some carrier, which is hemoglobin. Yeah, you know, each gram of hemoglobin carries 1.34 ml of oxygen, and our normal hemoglobin is approximately 15 gram in 100 ml. So 15 gram will be carrying around 19.4 to 20 ml of oxygen. In fact, 97% of oxygen is carried with hemoglobin. Now imagine everything is normal, but hemoglobin is problem. For example, in anemia, what we call it as anemia? Quantitative and qualitative decrease in RBC or decrease in hemoglobin. So imagine if hemoglobin is less. Now the criteria, decreased hemoglobin, the second criteria. So when the hemoglobin is decreased, what will happen? The oxygen, hemoglobin is not there to carry oxygen. So what will happen to the tissue? Yeah, again decreased oxygen, because hemoglobin is not carrying the available oxygen. So oxygen is normal. So this is called as anemic hypoxia. So it occurs in anemia where there can be decreased RBC, decreased hemoglobin. So what will be the partial pressure of oxygen here? Yeah, it is normal. So in anemic hypoxia, the partial pressure of oxygen is normal because the oxygen coming is normal, diffusion is normal, perfusion is normal, there is V by Q is normal, but hemoglobin is not there, or hemoglobin is very less. One more condition is there, which is called it as carbon monoxide poisoning. So why we tell carbon monoxide poisoning in anemic hypoxia? So what happens in carbon monoxide poisoning is, so if oxygen is there, I told hemoglobin, but now what happens? Carbon monoxide also comes, and 200 times more bonding with hemoglobin. So carbon monoxide has 200 times more affinity for hemoglobin. So what will happen? Hemoglobin will bind with oxygen or carbon monoxide. So hemoglobin will bind with carbon monoxide. So what happens to the oxygen available, which is normal? It will not be able to bind with hemoglobin. So what happens to the tissue oxygen? Tissues will not be able to utilize the oxygen because tissues is going to get only carbon monoxide. So that is a type of anemic hypoxia. And in anemic hypoxia, the partial pressure of oxygen is normal. Now I will go to third type of hypoxia. So third type of hypoxia is stagnant hypoxia. So again, in stagnant hypoxia, oxygen coming is normal, diffusion is normal, perfusion is normal, but this is also normal. Hemoglobin also may be normal, it is not decreased. So there is no carbon monoxide poisoning. Decreased blood flow. Hemoglobin is normal. So again repeat, stagnant hypoxia, the name says stagnant, so the blood is getting stagnated or the blood flow is decreased. So this is decreased. So oxygen coming is normal, diffusion is normal, the blood flow which has to take the oxygen is decreased, and hemoglobin is normal. So the carrying capacity is normal. But what happens as the blood flow is decreased? So the blood is the one which has to take. The blood is a transporter. Hemoglobin is the carrier. So if the transporter which takes the oxygen itself is flowing less, then the tissues will be getting less oxygen. On stagnant hypoxia, there is decreased blood flow. So in which condition blood flow will be decreased? Which is mainly responsible for the flow of blood? It is the heart. The heart is the one which pumps the blood to various vital organs or all the organs. So if there is any heart failure, even shock. So shock is one of the main causes for decreased blood flow, which results in stagnant hypoxia, and stagnant hypoxia causes decreased oxygen utilization by the tissue. That's why it is called as hypoxia. So in stagnant hypoxia, the partial pressure of oxygen is definitely going to be normal, because up to this there is no problem. The blood flow is the problem, and I hope I told various causes of impaired blood flow, even sometimes any obstruction or atherosclerosis, any plaque in blood vessel. So any clot formation. So any clot formation will result in decreased blood flow, which results in stagnant hypoxia. So that is the third type. Now we will move on to the fourth and the last histotoxic hypoxia. Histo means tissue, toxic means poison. So now in histotoxic hypoxia, as the name suggests, tissue, the problem is only in the tissue. You just see whatever I rub, the blood flow is normal. So there is no atherosclerosis or plaque or any decrease. So no blood flow is normal. So we will go in the reverse. Blood flow is normal, hemoglobin is normal, oxygen coming from the alveoli is normal, diffusion is normal, the atmospheric oxygen is normal, everything is normal, but the problem is in tissue. So what happens is, for example, cyanide poisoning. So in cyanide poisoning, what happens? The tissue is not able to utilize, because the tissue is poisoned. The tissue is having enough oxygen because all the things is normal, oxygen coming to the tissue is normal, but the tissue is not able to utilize oxygen because of the improper enzyme cytochrome oxidase. So the cyanide disrupts the enzyme, mitochondrial enzyme, cytochrome oxidase, or electron transport chain is affected. So the oxygen is not being utilized by the tissues. So obviously there will be hypoxia. So in histotoxic hypoxia, what will happen to PaO2? Yeah, it will be normal. So what will be the hemoglobin? Yeah, it will be normal in histotoxic hypoxia. What will be the blood flow? Yeah, it will be normal. So everything is normal, but tissue is not able to utilize the oxygen. That's called histotoxic hypoxia. So we have discussed 4 types of hypoxia. So to summarize, I will just put it in the tabular column so that you will be able to understand easily. So definition, we know, decreased oxygen delivery to the tissues, that is called as hypoxia. So I will put a tabular column: hypoxic hypoxia, anemic hypoxia, stagnant hypoxia, and histotoxic hypoxia. So 4 types of hypoxia I have written. Now you can answer yourself. So partial pressure of oxygen, it is less, that's why it is hypoxic hypoxia. In anemic hypoxia, the problem is in hemoglobin or RBC, but partial pressure of oxygen is normal. In stagnant hypoxia, it is normal. In histotoxic hypoxia, it is normal. Now coming to causes. So here it is decrease in atmospheric partial pressure. So where the intake of oxygen itself will be less. Yeah, example, high altitude. As you go height, the normal atmosphere itself, oxygen will be less. That 760 millimeter of mercury, 21% of that is oxygen, that itself will be less in high altitude. Then hypoventilation, all this we discussed. Then ventilation perfusion decrease, ratio is decreased. Then shunt. Shunt means ventilation is less but blood flow is normal, but that blood flow is not able to take the oxygen because ventilation is less. Even decreased surface area of alveolar capillary membrane. So all these are causes for hypoxic hypoxia. Anemic hypoxia, it is simple: decreased hemoglobin, decreased RBC, carbon monoxide poisoning. So in carbon monoxide poisoning, what happens? The carbon monoxide is 200 times more affinity for hemoglobin than oxygen. So what hemoglobin does? But here hemoglobin is carrying carbon monoxide because carbon monoxide is more affinity towards hemoglobin, 200 times. Stagnant hypoxia is decreased blood flow, which is seen in heart failure, atherosclerosis, shock, even plaque, atherosclerotic plaque, any clot. So wherever the blood flow is affected, we get stagnant hypoxia. Histotoxic hypoxia, cyanide poisoning, diphtheria. That is, the problem is in the tissues. So oxygen coming is normal, diffusion is normal, perfusion is normal, blood flow is normal, but the tissues is having some problem in utilization of the oxygen. Now AV oxygen difference. So AV, arteriovenous oxygen difference, means normal arterial PO2 is around 95. Normal venous PO2 is around 40. Why venous oxygen PO2 is less, means venous is deoxygenated blood. So the arteries which enters into the tissues will utilize the oxygen, and the remaining blood after the tissues utilize the oxygen is going to the venous blood. In anemic hypoxia also, arterial PaO2 is 95, venous PaO2 is 40, because the problem is in either decreased hemoglobin or decreased RBC. So oxygen is not being affected. So normal AV, the AV oxygen difference is normal in anemic hypoxia. In stagnant hypoxia, so because of some atherosclerosis or heart failure, the blood flow is very slow, or in fact even the blood flow is very less. So what happens? Arterial maybe 95, the arterial pressure oxygen is normal, but venous partial pressure of oxygen is, instead of 40 which is normal, it is 25. Because of stagnant blood flow, the venous blood is not receiving the enough blood. So what happens here is, the AV oxygen difference is greater than normal. For example, here it is around 70, the normal is 55. So instead of 55, the AV oxygen difference in stagnant hypoxia is 70. Now you can think, in histotoxic hypoxia what happens? Yeah, AV arterial pressure at partial pressure of oxygen at arterial end is 95. AV oxygen difference is nothing but the partial pressure of oxygen difference between arterial end and venous end. Normally arterial end partial pressure is 95, venous end arterial pressure is 40. We know why it is 40, because tissues are taking some oxygen and sending the deoxygenated blood. So as expected, venous PaO2 is less, which is 40. Arterial PaO2 is 95, which is normal. And we see even in anemic hypoxia, AV PO2 is normal. In stagnant hypoxia, we saw, since the blood is not able to reach the venous end that much easily, the AvO2 difference is greater than normal, which is 70. Yeah, now arterial pressure oxygen or PaO2, partial pressure of oxygen at arterial end is normal, which is 95. Now think of venous end. So oxygen, histotoxic hypoxia. Now I am talking about histotoxic hypoxia. Is the tissues able to utilize the oxygen? There is some problem in the tissues, either cyanide poisoning or diphtheria, some problem in the mitochondrial oxidase, or that tissue utilization, some problem. So what will happen to the oxygen coming here? Yeah, the same oxygen whichever is coming here, nothing is happening here, no oxygen utilization. So what happens? This also will be 95, or no oxygen is being utilized by the tissue. So oxygen saturation at arterial end and venous end both are same. So 95. So what will be the AV oxygen difference? It is almost 0. Now next important thing I want to discuss. Now oxygen therapy. So pure oxygen therapy or hyperbaric oxygen. In general, you remember, when I want to give oxygen therapy, will it be useful for hypoxia effects? Definitely yes. Because the problem itself is decrease in arterial pressure oxygen. So if I give oxygen therapy, it will be useful. Here it is yes or no. When your hemoglobin is less, RBC is less, what happens? When you give oxygen therapy, yeah, little bit helpful will be there, because oxygen transport 97% is transported with hemoglobin. 3% of oxygen is transported in dissolved form. Yeah. Now when I am giving oxygen therapy, hyperbaric oxygen therapy or pure oxygen therapy, what happens? This dissolved form increases. Yeah, this 3% may increase to some more, or this, since this dissolved oxygen is increased, 3% of that increased amount will be more, but this hemoglobin is already less. So some increase will be there, not like hypoxic hypoxia. I hope you understand. So when I am giving oxygen therapy from outside, this 97% does not make any significance, because that 97% has to have combined hemoglobin, but hemoglobin is less here. That's the main cause for anemic hypoxia. Whereas this 3% certainly helps, but not that much. Maybe instead of 0.3 ml, 1.8 ml oxygen, which is not a big difference. But take this carbon monoxide poisoning, which is also one of the cause for anemic hypoxia. So when I give oxygen therapy to carbon monoxide poisoning, what happens? So there is more oxygen, so carbon monoxide poisoning. So the problem in carbon monoxide poisoning is, as I explained, hemoglobin, oxygen. So oxygen has to bind with hemoglobin, which we know, that's the function of hemoglobin, to carry the oxygen. But in carbon monoxide poisoning, what happens? More carbon monoxide comes and binds. So oxygen is crying. So oxygen is not happy, it is crying because it is not able to bind with hemoglobin. But now when I give more oxygen therapy, what happens? So more oxygen is available, but hemoglobin is normal. So here in carbon monoxide poisoning, hemoglobin is normal, so no problem, hemoglobin can combine oxygen, not like decreased hemoglobin. So now carbon monoxide 200 times, okay, accepted, affinity, but since more oxygen is there, there will be a competition. So definitely in carbon monoxide poisoning, oxygen therapy will be helpful. Now coming to stagnant hypoxia. Yeah, whatever oxygen you give, if there is some block, imagine, yeah, some block or atherosclerosis or shock. So whatever oxygen comes, again same problem, decreased blood flow. So no, not useful. Histotoxic hypoxia, obviously not useful, because histotoxic hypoxia, already oxygen is normal only, but the tissues is not able to utilize. So what use in giving oxygen therapy? So oxygen therapy is 100% useful in hypoxic hypoxia. It is useful in carbon monoxide poisoning in anemic hypoxia, little bit useful in decreased hemoglobin. That combined with hemoglobin, no use. Dissolved form of oxygen can be useful little bit. In stagnant hypoxia and histotoxic hypoxia, the etiology is different. So no use, not useful, oxygen therapy. So in today's lecture, I discussed about what is hypoxia, how the oxygen enters inside the lungs alveoli, and how it goes through the blood and being utilized by oxygen. So based on that, what are the causes for hypoxia, then types of hypoxia, then the difference. Partial pressure of oxygen is decreased in hypoxic hypoxia, whereas it is normal in other types of oxygen. And I also discussed about artery-venous oxygen difference. Then oxygen therapy is mainly useful only in hypoxic hypoxia, a little bit in anemic, and not at all useful in stagnant and histotoxic hypoxia. So today we discussed on hypoxia, an important topic. As I mentioned, it is important NEET PG question. So if you like this video, if you feel this video to be helpful, please subscribe and press the bell button so that you get the notification of further videos. So please share to your friend circle so that it will be very useful. Thank you for watching this video.